Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to JT Islamic World. What if I told you there was a man who could make jinn bow before him, a king who could fly on wind, a ruler who understood what ants were saying, and when he died, he stood leaning on a stick for months and nobody knew he was dead? Sounds impossible, right? But every single word I just said is documented in the Holy Quran. This is Prophet Sulaman, King Solomon, and the miracles Allah gave him were so extraordinary that even today, scientists can't explain them. We're not talking about 1 or 2 miracles here. We're talking about 10 supernatural powers that made him the most powerful human being to ever walk this earth. So buckle up, because for the next 12 minutes, I'm going to show you miracles that will make you say Subhanallah at least 10 times. And trust me, when you hear about miracle number 9, how he died, your mind will be absolutely blown. Let's dive in. Miracle number 1, the gift of prophethood and kingship. Prophet Sulaman was the son of Prophet Dawood, King David, the man who killed Goliath and could bend iron with his bare hands. But Sulaman didn't just inherit a kingdom, he inherited prophethood. The Quran says, and Sulaman inherited from Dawood, meaning he got both the crown and divine revelation. When he became king, he made one prayer that changed everything. He said, "My Lord, grant me a kingdom such as will not belong to anyone after me." And Allah responded, "Granted." This wasn't arrogance, this was a sincere request to be given unique blessings so he could serve Allah in a unique way. And boy, did Allah answer that prayer. What came next was a series of miracles that have never been repeated in human history. Miracle number 2, control over the jinn. Listen to this carefully, because this is insane. Allah gave Sulaiman complete authority over the jinn, those supernatural beings made of smokeless fire that most humans can't even see. The Quran says, "And to Sulaiman we subjected the wind and the jinn. Some of them worked for him, building structures, making images, and crafting vessels." These weren't just any jinn. These were powerful beings who could build palaces, create artwork, and do heavy labor. Imagine having workers who never get tired, who can lift massive stones, who can work day and night without stopping. But here's what's amazing. Sulaiman didn't use them for luxury or personal gain. He used them to build the great temple for Allah, to create things that benefited people, to serve humanity. The jinn who disobeyed, the Quran mentions they were punished. And whoever deviated among them from our command, we will make him taste of the punishment of the blaze. So Sulaiman had an entire workforce of supernatural beings under his command, and they had no choice but to obey him. But wait, it gets even more incredible. Miracle number 3, control over the wind. Now this miracle is absolutely mind-blowing. Allah made the wind itself obey Sulaiman. The Quran describes it beautifully. "And to Sulaiman we subjected the wind. Its morning journey was a month's travel, and its evening journey was a month's travel." Do you understand what this means? Sulaiman could travel in one morning what would take a normal person an entire month to walk. He had a massive throne. Some scholars say it was made of wood and gold, and the wind would carry it. He literally had a flying palace. This is 3,000 years before the Wright brothers, before airplanes, before helicopters, before hot air balloons. And this man is zooming across the sky faster than anything on Earth at that time. Imagine the scene, this massive royal throne flying through the air, carried by powerful winds, traveling from one city to another in hours when it should take weeks. And he controlled where it went, north, south, east, west. The wind obeyed his command. Scientists today are still trying to figure out how to harness wind power effectively, and Sulaiman was doing it thousands of years ago by Allah's permission. But the miracles don't stop there. Miracle number 4. Understanding the language of animals and birds. This is one of the most beautiful miracles. Allah gave Sulaiman the ability to understand what animals and birds were saying. The Quran quotes Sulaiman himself saying, "O people, we have been taught the language of birds, and we have been given from everything." He didn't just understand one type of animal, he understood all of them. Birds, ants, animals, they could all communicate with him. And this led to one of the most touching stories in the Quran. One day, Sulaiman was traveling with his massive army, thousands of soldiers, jinn working alongside them, birds flying overhead in military formation. They were passing through a valley, and suddenly Sulaiman heard a tiny voice. An ant was calling out to her colony, saying, "O ants, enter your homes. Don't let Sulaiman and his armies crush you while they don't even notice." Now think about this. In the middle of commanding this enormous army, with jinn and birds and soldiers, Sulaiman heard one tiny ant worried about her family. And what did he do? Did he ignore it? Did he say, "I'm too important to stop for an ant"? No, he smiled. The Quran says he smiled, amused at her speech. And then he made this beautiful dua. "My Lord, enable me to be grateful for your favor which you have bestowed upon me and upon my parents, and to do righteousness of which you approve, and admit me by your mercy into the ranks of your righteous servants." The most powerful man on earth stopped his entire army because he heard an ant's concern. That's not weakness, that's real power. The power to have everything, but still care about the smallest of Allah's creatures. But wait until you hear what happened with the birds. Miracle number 5, the army of birds. Sulaiman didn't just understand birds, he had them organized as an army. The Quran describes it. "And gathered for Sulaiman were his soldiers of jinn and men and birds, and they were assembled in rows." These birds served as scouts, messengers, and air surveillance. One day, Sulaiman was doing roll call of his bird army, and he noticed someone was missing. The hoopoe bird wasn't there. Sulaiman said, "Why do I not see the hoopoe, or is he among the absent? I will surely punish him with a severe punishment, or slaughter him, unless he brings me clear authorization." This shows Sulaiman ran a disciplined operation. Even the birds had to show up for duty. Then suddenly, the hoopoe bird arrived and said something shocking. "I have come to you from Sheba with certain news. I found a woman ruling them, and she has been given of all things, and she has a great throne. But I found her and her people prostrating to the sun instead of Allah." The bird had been on a reconnaissance mission and discovered an entire kingdom in Yemen, the kingdom of Sheba, ruled by a powerful queen who was worshiping the sun. This led to one of the most incredible miracles. Miracle number 6, throne teleportation. When Sulaiman heard about the Queen of Sheba, he sent her a letter with the hoopoe bird inviting her to worship Allah alone. The queen was smart. She decided to test this king by sending him expensive gifts, gold, jewels, treasures. But when her messengers arrived, Sulaiman rejected everything. He said, "Do you provide me with wealth? What Allah has given me is better than what He has given you." Then he said something insane. "Return to them, for we will surely come to them with soldiers that they will be powerless to encounter." But before she could even arrive, Sulaiman gave his court a challenge. "O assembly, which of you will bring me her throne before they come to me in submission?" Her throne was in Yemen. Sulaiman was in Jerusalem. That's over 1,500 miles away, and she was already traveling to him. A powerful jinn said, "I will bring it to you before you rise from your place." But then one of Sulaiman's righteous men, who had knowledge from the book, said, "I will bring it to you before your glance returns to you." And instantly, in less than a blink, the throne appeared. The Quran says, "And when Sulaiman saw it placed before him, he said, 'This is from the favor of my Lord.'" Teleportation, a massive golden throne covered in jewels, transported 1,500 miles in a split second. Modern science is still trying to achieve teleportation with tiny particles in laboratories, and Sulaiman's people did it with a throne thousands of years ago through Allah's power. But why did he want her throne? Miracle number 7, the glass floor miracle. When Queen Bilqis arrived, Sulaiman had modified her throne slightly and asked, "Is this your throne?" She was shocked, but answered carefully, "It's as if it is my throne." She couldn't believe it. How did her locked, guarded throne from Yemen appear in Jerusalem? Then Sulaiman said, "Enter the palace." And here's where another miracle happened. Sulaiman had constructed a floor made of crystal clear glass over a pool of water. It was so perfectly smooth and transparent that it looked exactly like water. When the queen saw it, she thought it was a pool, so she lifted her dress to walk through the water. But Sulaiman said, "It's a palace paved with glass." This wasn't to embarrass her, it was to teach her a profound lesson. Things aren't always what they appear. She was worshiping the sun, thinking it was divine, but it's just a creation. She thought glass was water. Her eyes deceived her. The lesson? Don't just trust what you see. Use your mind and heart to find the truth. Right there, the queen understood. She declared, "My Lord, I have wronged myself, and I submit with Sulaiman to Allah, Lord of all the worlds." This glass technology was so advanced that even today, architects study the descriptions, trying to understand how they achieved such clarity and smoothness. But now we come to the most powerful miracle. Miracle number 8, the Ring of Authority. According to Islamic tradition, Sulaiman had a special ring that was the source of his authority over the jinn and wind. This ring had Allah's greatest name inscribed on it, and as long as Sulaiman wore it, everything obeyed him. But here's where things get serious. The scholars tell us that one day, Sulaiman became a bit comfortable with his power. He made some decisions without fully relying on Allah, and immediately Allah taught him a harsh lesson. His ring disappeared. Some narrations say a jinn took it and threw it in the sea. Others say it fell off, but the result was instant. All of Sulaiman's power vanished. The jinn no longer obeyed him. The wind didn't carry him. The birds didn't understand him. In one moment, the most powerful man on earth became ordinary. For 40 days, Sulaiman wandered. Some narrations say he worked as a fisherman, selling fish in the market. The king working for daily wages. Nobody recognized him. But you know what he did? He didn't complain. He didn't get angry. He understood. He realized every blessing he had was from Allah. He cried, he prayed, he begged for forgiveness, and then, according to the narrations, a fish swallowed the ring. And when Sulaiman was working as a fisherman, he caught that exact fish. He cut it open and found his ring. The moment he put it back on, boom, all his power returned. But he was changed. He was humbler, more grateful, more aware that everything comes from Allah and can be taken away in an instant. This miracle within a miracle taught humanity that no matter how much power you have, you're nothing without Allah's favor. Miracle number 9, the standing death. And now we come to the most mind-blowing miracle of all, his death. After ruling for years, after building the great temple, after serving Allah with wisdom and justice, Prophet Sulaiman's time came to an end. The jinn were still working on the temple, doing hard labor, building, crafting, and they hated it. They would whisper among themselves, "If we really knew the unseen like people think we do, we would know when this king will die and we could be free." So Sulaiman, in his final act, proved a point that would last forever. He went to his prayer area, stood leaning on his staff, overlooking the jinn at work, and right there, his soul departed. But here's what's insane. He remained standing, leaning on that wooden staff. Days passed, weeks passed, some scholars say months passed, and the jinn kept working. They thought he was just standing there watching them. They thought he was alive. They had no idea the king was dead. Until finally, a tiny termite ate through the wooden staff, and when the staff broke, Sulaiman's body fell. Only then did everyone realize he had been dead this whole time. The Quran says, and when he fell, the jinn realized that if they had truly known the unseen, they would not have remained in humiliating punishment. Do you see the genius of this miracle? Miracle number 10, the termite's lesson. That tiny termite accomplished what armies couldn't. It brought down the mightiest king. This final miracle taught 3 massive lessons. First, only Allah knows the unseen. The jinn claimed supernatural knowledge, but couldn't even tell if the man watching them was alive or dead. Second, Allah can use the smallest of His creations to humble the greatest. A microscopic termite exposed the truth that powerful jinn couldn't see. Third, even in death, Sulaiman was teaching. His last act wasn't commanding armies or showing power. It was demonstrating humility, showing that no matter who you are, you're just a servant of Allah. And that brings us to the ultimate lesson. So what do these 10 miracles teach us today? Lesson 1. Power is a test, not a trophy. Sulaiman had more power than anyone in history, but he used it for justice and serving Allah. Lesson 2. Stay humble always. The moment he got comfortable, he lost his ring. Lesson 3. Everything is borrowed. Your health, your job, your success, it can all disappear instantly. Lesson 4. Listen to the small voices. He stopped his army for an ant. Lesson 5. Use your blessings to serve others. He used jinn to build temples, not palaces for himself. Lesson 6. Don't trust appearances. The glass floor looked like water. Seek the truth. Lesson 7. A tiny thing can humble you. The termite brought down the king. Lesson 8. Only Allah knows the unseen. Stop worrying about the future you can't control. Lesson 9. Even prophets get tested. If Sulaiman lost his power temporarily, we will definitely face tests too. Lesson 10. Your legacy matters more than your power. Sulaiman is remembered for his wisdom and humility, not just his miracles. If this story amazed you, do 3 things right now. 1. Smash that like button. 2. Share this with someone who needs to hear about real power and humility. 3. Subscribe to JT Islamic World and hit that notification bell. Next week, we're revealing the story of Prophet Yusuf from the bottom of a well to the throne of Egypt, the ultimate comeback story. Remember, you might not command jinn or fly on wind, but you have something powerful. You have faith. And with faith, you can overcome any obstacle. This is JT Islamic World, where we bring you authentic stories that transform lives. May Allah grant us the wisdom of Sulaiman, the humility of Sulaiman, and the devotion of Sulaiman. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum.